What's up, everybody? Michael LaFido. We are going to be talking AI. I'm your host here on Luxury Specialist Podcast. We're going to be sharing with you, again, on our episodes, tools, resources, what's working today, what's the shiny object, what should you be focusing your time on. And today we're going to be talking about AI. It's, of course, the big buzz. You go to any of these big conferences, you tune into podcasts like ours, and people are talking about AI in different perspectives, and you should get different perspectives, just no different than when there is some new tool or resource out there. You know, you should be skeptical by nature, but also realize change is coming. So we're going to be talking about AI, and I have a guest today that's founder of the AI certification and doing some great things. Him and I both spoke recently at a Real Producers annual conference, which was down in Dallas. The hotel was right across where the Cowboys play. Went for a nice jog around the stadium one day. It was pretty cool. And he presented there. I presented there. And Tom Ferry was at that conference. Real Producers. You can see the big old Real Producers cover behind me there. Publication in, shoot, I don't even know, 50, 100 markets. I should probably know that answer. But so I'm going to bring Nick Krem on. Before I bring Nick on, just a reminder, if you guys have any questions for me, for Nick, you don't need to download anything. If you're watching this live stream, you don't need to download anything. So it is just type it in the comment section. Literally type it in the comment section. And if you're watching on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, we will see it. We will see it. So again, I'll put my email up here real quick as well. If you guys have any questions, you can shoot me an email, michael@marketingluxurygroup.com, michael@marketingluxurygroup.com. All right. So where is my guest? He's backstage ready to come on here. What is up, Nick? How you doing, buddy?
What's going on, Michael? I'm glad to be here. You know, I was just admiring your setup that you have in your studio. You have your books on the, on the pedestal behind there.
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. We're rotating. There's our book there, Secret to Top Luxury Agents, and got some swag there too, Nick. You know, you got to have the swag.
For sure.
Yeah, if you guys still time, you guys got to put that order in now. If you need some luxury swag, you guys got to go to luxuryspecialistgear.com, luxuryspecialistgear.com. So, Nick, you are the founder of certification for agents, right? AI certified is I believe. Tell me a little bit about yourself. We'll get into the class that you created, the Krem Institute of A.I., and then we'll dive into it. I got a lot of questions. I'm sure you got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, well, first of all, thanks for having me on, Michael. I'm just excited to be on here today and just talk about AI in real estate because I feel like it's a vast subject and just I want to get down to you guys what actually works, where is this going, and what's happening. And this is why we created the Krem Institute of Artificial Intelligence. We actually launched this about 4 years ago. Created the world's first AI certified agent, helping agents differentiate with the future of real estate. And for us, it's just about how do you make that transition to an AI powered business. And that doesn't mean you have to become an AI expert. That doesn't mean you have to jump on every single tool that comes out, because at the end of the day, you are a real estate agent, right? We work specifically in the real estate industry for that purpose because I believe in the minimal effective dose. What's the smallest amount you need to know to be dangerous? Because at the end of the day, it's about you helping your clients. It's not about becoming a master of AI and learning every tool. No, it's just about what are the simple ways to make you more efficient, to create better marketing, and to make that transition to an AI-powered business. So that's why we built the Institute. It's just a center of learning around AI to build a culture of collaboration with the technology, not replacement with it.
Okay, that's good. Good distinction there. Thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah.
So 4 years ago, you launched this. Obviously, AI has changed in the last 4 months, let alone 4 years, right?
Yeah.
So you had this ball of clay, and you're molding this course and the community, and obviously you have to be nimble and change, right?
Yeah. Yeah, and it's just about to me, it comes down to a quote. We've all heard survival of the fittest, and that's actually not the real quote. The real quote is, it's not the strongest of a species, nor the most intelligent that survives. It's the one most adaptable to change. So to me, that's what embodies artificial intelligence and everything that's happening. Look, you don't need to be the smartest with this. You just need to be open to adapting to the way that this technology changes and the way the consumer behavior changes with this. So yes, we've been nimble. And that's why, I tell people you don't need 1,000 AI tools to dramatically change your life. Chances are you just need a couple, and you need to know how to collaborate with them to get more efficient results for your business.
Well, collaboration, adapting, right? There's a reason that Blockbuster went out of business. There's a reason that dinosaurs are extinct. I grew up a Toys R Us kid, and they didn't adapt, right? And so you don't adapt. And, obviously the real estate agent community has adapted a lot in the last 5+ years, right? From going to remote, listing appointments, to remote showings, to the Zoom world that we all learned to become the norm during that pandemic. So with that being said, one thing that you and I talked about in our prep meeting for today is, real estate agents are notorious to have shiny object syndrome, right? There's all these tools and resources. Many agents are always looking for that was easy, the easy button, right? The competitive advantage. But the reality is, AI is no different. There's a lot of different tools. You need this, you need this, you need this. And one of the things I like that you and I have had private conversations is trying to keep it simple, and you don't have to be an expert at them all. So with that, why don't I segue into that? Talk to the audience a little bit about that a bit further, if you would.
Yeah, and I love how you have that easy button, right? Because that's what a lot of people are looking for. And, I feel like it's no different with AI. People just want the easy button. Like I just want AI to do all of the work for me and to do all these things. That's like, look, that's a great way to be replaced. Look, I like to say that AI is exponential technology. With exponential technology comes exponential distractions, exponential shiny objects. And everybody and their brother seems to have the AI app that's just going to change your life. And, sometimes I see these AI apps and these tools, and it's like they're trying to convince you of a problem that you don't have that then AI can solve. And I feel like that's just a complete backwards way of thinking. It's like, well, AI can do this, this, and this for you. It's like, well, I wasn't actually doing that in my business, so why do I need that now? So a lot of times when you're looking at top producing agents, it's what are you already doing in your business, and how can AI help you streamline your efficiency in it? That's where we really look at. What are you already doing that is working? And is there an AI solution that will help you streamline your efficiencies? That's when you really start seeing the ROI. Or it's, how simply is this AI tool affecting into my business? Because if you have to spend more time behind a computer and less time talking to people, last time I checked, Michael, that's not how agents make money. Right?
No, we are in a face-to-face business. You got to be opportunities. You got to talk to people. You got to grow your network, right?
Yes. And it's like, look, my number one belief is AI is here to spend less time behind a computer and more time talking to clients. And if it does not fit that box, then I simply don't teach it, I don't study it, and I don't do it. And it really just, to me, it breaks down to that simple. Is this going to help me spend less time behind a computer and more time talking to people? If that's a no, then I don't do it. If it's a yes, then I do it. And it's, to me, it can be broken down into that simple decision-making filter.
And so under that bucket of, hey, get away from the computer, get me out in the field, talk to more people, network. Obviously, you got admin, bullet point, high level, some of those tasks that come to most people think about, I guess, when it comes to AI can help unload some of that time.
Yeah. And, I think to me, it's the number one way I still use it, man, is as a thought partner, as a collaborator on ideas that I'm currently working on. When I'm sitting there and I'm like, I'm juggling all these different ideas and trying to figure out the best roadmap, I use AI as a thought partner. Even working with my VAs, I'll come up with my strategy. I'll collaborate with AI, be like, hey, act as an expert business strategist. My goal is to come up with a streamlined process to roll out this new product or service. Here's exactly how it works. Here is every person's role in my company. Here is what my end result looks like. Help me come up with a streamlined process, step by step, of how I can roll this out. on areas that you think I can get more efficient. Ask me one question at a time. And then it will ask me questions to go deeper in my business. And at the very end, it'll be like, all right, this person does these roles. This person does these roles. Here's how you roll it out in a 1-week action plan and a 4-month action plan. And it rolls it out for me. But now it just took that, Michael, I would have to sit there for hours on a whiteboard and try to formulate all of these thoughts and come up with these solutions. But now it's like, here are all the pieces in my puzzle, right? Act as an expert business strategist and help me put this puzzle together. And now when I talk about less time behind a computer, and it's like, where are we spending our time? Are we spending our time in stress and anxiety and overwhelm? Or are we spending our time? It's like, all right, let me unload and brain dump into this, formulate an action plan, and now I get to stay in action mode. And heck, maybe I sleep a little better. Maybe I sleep a little longer. Because I'll tell you what, Michael, I believe a lot of your problems can be solved by just getting more sleep, right? More good sleep. So like, these are ways that I'm like, when we're working with top people, it's like, yes, can you automate some things? Yeah, and that's great. But how much time are you spending in stress, anxiety, and overwhelm versus being able to collaborate with this, get to action mode quicker? And now your life just becomes, it feels lighter. It's like a burden that gets unloaded from yourself.
Wow. So that's a great, here we are coming up first week of December, and it's hard to believe we're in December here. And when this is being, the replay's out. And if you haven't started planning your 2026, your business goals, your financial goals, your travel, your health goals, your religious goals, your marriage goals, right? It's not too late, but by all means, December, if you haven't done it yet, you need to start. And so AI can help with business planning as well. AI can help if one of my goals when I teach agents through our course, we just had our third Lux designation training this past week in Chicago. And literally we're talking about helping agents increase their average sale price. So one of the things we're doing in that, Nick, is we're creating a baseline. Okay, what's your 2024 average? What's this year? How many homes have you sold? And we divide them into the 5 buckets, right? Starter, average price point, high-end, luxury, and ultra luxury. And so if you want to sell more high-end homes and you want to increase your average sale price, what do you need to do? And so, people can leverage AI to get a base goal, a base trackable sheet to check where they're going. And so AI is, a lot of times will take care of some of those painstaking checklists or forms or goal setting sheets that many agents struggle with and aren't. Most agents are social. They're more right brain than left brain. So AI helps with a lot of the left brain stuff as well.
You're absolutely right. And it's like, I would even take that a step further, because once you get those sheets, you can upload it into something on ChatGPT called a project. And on a project, you can add files. So now you can add your files for your 2026 business plan into this project. And for the entire year, you can talk to your business plan. You can talk to your goals and say like, all right, here's where I'm currently at with my goals. What percentage am I away from hitting them? Right? All right, come up with a custom action plan of what actions I should be taking in order to hit my goals. And now for the entire year, you have a 2026 business consultant based on your goals, your strategy, and what you want. And this is where it comes down to me, accountability. Because now everybody can have their own personalized business coach that knows their plan, their strategy, what they want to do, and their goals built into it. Now, are you going to hold yourself accountable and go in there and ask questions and take action? Or do you need somebody to hold your hand? And chances are the people who need the hand holding aren't the ones that make it. So like for the people who take action, which is what I'm guessing, who listens to you, who is a part of your group, this is fantastic because you have a 24/7 business consultant based on your goals, your strategies, and where you want to go.
So what I hear you saying, thank you by that. So you just mentioned, so when you create this plan, you get it, you can upload it to ChatGPT as a project, did you say?
As a project. So on the left-hand side, you will see projects. And then you just click new project, you label it 2026 business coach. And then in there, you can add a file. that it always talks to first. And that file would just be your business plan, maybe the actions you said you were going to do, your personal goals, and everything into that as a file. And now for the whole year, you can go back to that project and you can talk to it just like you would talk to a business coach.
It's accountability partner, right? So,
yeah.
You know, I used to work out at a place called Orange Theory Fitness. And, you know, I knew how to go on a treadmill and do all the weights. I mean, I was a former teacher and I taught that kind of stuff. But it was accountability partner, right? Getting up, pushing yourself when you didn't want to. Well, but the key, agents, is you have to implement. You got to know where these projects are. You got to log in. You got to update it. And if you want to grow something, you got to have a baseline. You got to inspect and you got to feed it and nurture it. So some really good information there on, and I love your philosophy on if AI, you want to be behind a computer less. You got to get out there more. So AI, focus on those tasks that will allow you to do that. Talk to me a little bit about AI certified. You're wearing, for those of you watching, got that nice AI certified shirt. By the way, we got, let's see here. Hey, Dave, what's going on, Dave? We got Dave here. What's up, big dog? We got Dave, and this is, by the way, Krem.ai. Tell me a little bit about Krem.ai. What would that's your website, by the way, for anybody who wants to find out a little bit more about you. But tell me what went into it and what went into AI certified, and what can an agent expect from joining that community out of curiosity?
Yeah, no, absolutely, Michael. And, you know, look, the Krem Institute was built off of my brother and I's. We have an extensive background in marketing and branding, right? That's where like our business was at prior to being into the AI space. And we're still in that space, but now it's just made exponential through AI. So we've taken all of our marketing and branding expertise and we built it into our AI programs of how to help agents make that transitions and become better marketers and throughout those lines. And our certification is really quite simple. Of course, we're going to teach you how to use AI, the basics, the fundamentals, and how to become more efficient, but we're also going to help you differentiate yourself from everybody else. How do you walk into a listing and say, hey, every other agent who walks in the door is just a traditional agent? They're going to show you how they marketed past properties and, you know, how many homes they sold. I have that too. I used AI to analyze your property and come up with the 3 most likely buyers, as well as a custom marketing strategy for each one. And then you can show that to them. This is what we call the AI listing advantage, right? I was trained by the nation's #1 institute for AI and real estate to help you get more exposure for your listing. So, of course, we teach you AI, but we show you how to instantly differentiate yourself from everybody else. And then we have backing of Yahoo Finance, Google, Fox News, where we've been published on of how thousands of homeowners are making the transition from traditional agents to AI certified agents trained by us. So we gift you all the differentiation you need to walk in, because I'm sure, Michael, you've been asked, what makes you different than everybody else, right? So we help you guys in that differentiation
point. Great point there, by the way. First off, I want to go back to something you said, because I tell agents all the time, don't think like a real estate agent, think like a marketer.
Yes.
You know, in our book, Secret to Top Luxury Agents, Chapter 7, Elena Cardone's in this book, along with some others. But Elena says, best marketer beats best agent. Now, I think if you're the best agent and the best marketer, you're putting yourself in a position to succeed every time, because you're going to benefit the consumer and benefit you. And that's what I call a win-win.
You're absolutely right. And, you know, this is why, like, a lot of what we do too is consumer facing. Yeah, we help you with your efficiencies, and I think that's really important. But like, to your consumer, what makes you different? Why do they want to work with you? What makes them excited to say, hey, I worked with an AI certified agent, right? Like, what do they say? Like, in my mind, I'm picturing, what are they saying around the dinner table, right? What are they saying when they're at a dinner party and like things are going on in your life? Oh yeah, you're selling your home. How's it going? Oh, well, and they get to sit there and say, actually, I work with one of the only AI certified agents in the area, and they're doing all this custom marketing for me. They actually created a custom song for my listing. Go ahead and listen to it. So that's like some of the things that we teach you guys how to do is how to create custom music videos for each one of your listings that help tell the story. So I think, like, what are people saying around the dinner table? What would get them excited to say that they're working with you? So that's some of the thoughts that went into why we created this and like how we market and differentiate ourselves from everybody else.
So tell me a little bit real quick. One of the things that I'm sure you've you're well aware of this when you launched this 4 years ago, but maybe even more so now. I'm seeing and I'm hearing more about AEO, right?
Yeah.
You heard about SEO forever. Now I'm hearing a lot of people about AEO, positioning yourself to be found on search. Talk to me
Yeah.
a little bit about what you're teaching, what you're
Yeah.
seeing, and some best practices. Again, for agents listening out there, if somebody wanted to, literally, if somebody wanted to position themselves, but more importantly, in the positioning, you want to be certified in AI, just like, you can position yourself as luxury, but when you own the content, when you literally don't just believe it, but you literally practiced it. And so
Yeah.
when somebody throws you a curveball, when a home's got a unique value proposition that, quite honestly, is going to be a small pool of buyers that really like that value proposition, what can you do to accentuate the property and get it a lot of exposure to a target audience? So talk to me a little bit about AEO.
Yeah.
And then talk to me a little bit about fair housing too, right? Because so many agents are lazy and they type me a property description,
Yeah.
and we got to worry about fair housing if you're a member of NAR.
Yeah. So I think, and that's a fantastic question, Michael, because it's just, it's consumer behavior. And, I think this is something where we hear the phrase AI is not coming for your job. Somebody using AI is coming for your job, right? So when we hear that, sometimes we think it's other agents that are using AI. And I don't fully believe that. I believe that somebody using AI is actually the consumer. The AI powered consumer is what's going to take more agents out of business. And Michael, for the first time ever, for the longest time, I'll ask this question to you, Michael.
Yeah.
What has been the number one complaint against real estate agents for years?
Well, they list my house. I never hear from them again. They sell my house. I don't use them again because I don't hear from them again.
Communication, right? Like lack of communication, right? Whether it's listing, like all these other things. It's been lack of communication. That's no longer the number one complaint. The number one complaint now is I felt like I knew more than my real estate agent. That is now the number one complaint. And do we think that's just a coincidence that it's out because of AI? I don't believe in coincidences. So people have ready access to more information at their fingertips, where they can go ask you questions. They can feel more informed. So the AI powered consumer, and we have to understand consumer behavior is changing. Even the way that the internet works is changing. You see, before it was the humans, us, that would go out to the internet, gather information from links and sources to then feel more educated on a subject. That's changing now because the humans aren't the ones searching the internet. AI is searching the internet and bringing the answer to us. Even as something, 220 times more people still go to Google over ChatGPT. So I'm not going to be one of those people who say, everybody's going to ChatGPT now. Like, that's just not factual, right? 220 times more people still go to Google.
Wow. Yeah.
But let me ask you this, Michael. How many times do you even look past the Google AI answer at the top? You type a question and Google gives you that AI answer right at the top. And that's literally, it researches all the links, and based on what it finds, it gives you the answer at the top. And then it sources people. That's where all of this is starting to change, where people just trust what AI gives them the answer to, which is a whole nother conversation, because as you and I know, it's not always right. But how many people do you know that said, hey, I read this somewhere, but they read it off of Facebook? And it's like, well, did you even fact check any of this? You're just getting the information from a face. But it doesn't matter because it's the consumer behavior of feeling empowered. So as we transition to this AI powered world, it's just understanding that AI search is AI that will search the internet, identify who is the expert in that field, and bring to them the answer. And then the question is, will you be the expert that AI identifies, right? Because even right now with AI search online is one thing, but what a lot of people don't see coming is Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, and Johnny Ive, the guy who have designed the iPhone, Mac computer, and all, like a lot of the Mac products. They've teamed up and they're launching something in 2026 called an AI agent. It's a screenless device that they say will be the device that will eventually replace your phone, replace your laptop. Yes. And it will literally just give you all the answers You ask it questions, it gives you the answer. It's going to be built into this screenless device, and eventually it'll be built into watches, to your phone, like not watches, rings, necklace, like AI agents that are just your companions that give you answers to everything that you need. That will be able to, it's everybody's personal assistant. And this is where people might say like, oh, nobody wants something listening to them all the time. Well, I hate to break it to you, your phone already does that, right? But never underestimates people's desire for convenience. And that's what this device will be, just convenience at your fingertips. So when we're saying AI search and why is it so important? Yes. Is it important for now? Yeah, absolutely. Because people are going to ChatGPT, you're getting Google answers. But in the world of AI agents and these screenless devices, if you are not found when people ask that device a question, you are no longer seen as the authority. You will literally not be found. So it's important to make this distinction of, man, this is where the puck is moving towards. So if you aren't found in AI search, AEO and GEO, you simply, to me, won't exist in the eyes of the consumer.
Yeah. Wow. That's so, many times in our classes, we have agents do what's called a SWOT analysis. And I tell them, better yet, have somebody that sells a lot more homes than you do a SWOT analysis on your digital footprint, right? On your website, on your LinkedIn, on your YouTube, your Instagram. And so part of what we're looking for is making sure contact information is all accurate. Your branding's consistent. Of course, the company you're with is consistent. You have an updated headshot. There's a lot of ladies out there that have their glamour shots in the 90s, and there's a lot of guys out there that have full head of hair on their headshot, and they haven't had a full head of hair for 20 years, right?
Hey,
so
Michael, no.
Hey, no. my point is, when we talk about the SWOT analysis, say, what are your strengths of your online presence, your weakness, what are some opportunities, what are some threats? Well, AI, you're going to have some blind spots in your AI as well, right? So any prompting questions that you have out the top of your head, I didn't prep you for this, but any prompting questions that you would have for somebody to check their presence through AI to make sure they're optimized on various platforms?
Yeah, and that's a great question. I think this just comes down to me, it's just the magic prompt of act as. My goal is ask me one question at a time. You're going to say act as.
All right. He froze there for a second. There you go. Hold on. Okay. Act as
a strategic brand specialist who specializes in online presence. My goal.
All right, so I'm gonna type this in here because he's got. All right, you broke up again there. So I'm gonna go ahead one more time. Act as
a strategic brand specialist who optimizes online presence. My goal is to create a SWOT analysis of my online presence. My website is this. My social media channels are these. And then I would say, ask me one question at a time until you have a full understanding to move forward. So then it will have your website, it will have your links, and knows it's supposed to create a SWOT analysis. And it will start asking you questions of like, okay, what do you want me to focus on? What should I be looking at? And then at the very end, it will research your website. It will research your social media profiles. And then it will create a SWOT analysis of what you should focus on, what you can improve.
Now, let me ask you, if you have the paid subscription to, let's just say, ChatGPT, it's learning your voice, it's learning your style, it's learning your strengths, it's learning more about you. When you're doing these types of exercises, like a SWOT analysis, when you prompt it for something in the future, is it taking into account all this knowledge and improving itself for you?
It is. Yeah. So it has a memory feature, which is one of the big reasons why I do recommend ChatGPT, because of the memory feature. So it remembers your past conversations. It remembers your styles, what you like, what you don't like. So it does take all of that into account as it goes through this.
Awesome. Good. Well, hey, listen, what should I be asking you that I haven't? What would you like to cover that I haven't asked you about?
What I would say is, I think the number one thing, like the number one problem that is occurring within AI is AI tool addiction and AI overwhelm and anxiety, where agents are getting inundated with all of these tools and people are telling you, Michael, if you don't use this tool, you're going to be left behind. And then next week it's a new tool, Michael. And if you don't learn how to do this, you're going to be left behind. But then if you go into their history, they've been saying this for the last 4 years. And guess what? You're still here and things are still working. So it's understanding that a lot of AI trainers and gurus are almost, to me, like AI drug dealers, where it's just like, oh, now you got to learn this. Now you got to learn this. Now you got to learn this. Now you got to learn this tool. And every single week, yes, there's new AI tools, but it doesn't necessarily mean you have to learn it or you'll be left behind, right? So I think it's understanding that AI tool addiction is real. You can attend a different training every single week from a different instructor teaching you something new. And you know what ends up happening, Michael? You end up spending more time behind a computer and less time talking to people. I believe the human element is actually getting more valuable than ever. Your ability to simply collaborate with this, to streamline your efficiencies and use it as a thought partner is what will set you apart. And then be ready to just adapt to this AI-powered consumer. Because in the world of the AI-powered consumer, they're going to go to who they believe is the expert. And if they don't feel like you have better information and you're more knowledgeable than the AI that they are talking to, they're just going to go to somebody else, right? Your applied knowledge is what separates you from AI's conceptual knowledge, because that's all AI is. It's conceptual knowledge based on the information it has on the internet that people have at their fingertips. So an agent's applied knowledge of being able to say, hey, I've dealt with hundreds of homeowners just like you. Here's the information we have, and here's how we apply it to your current situation. That is where the true experts will lie. So to me, it's understanding that AI tool addiction is real. AI anxiety is real. Relieve yourself from it. Simply collaborate with this technology, use it as a thought partner, use it as a collaborator to increase your efficiencies, and go out there and talk to more people. And you'll smoke the people who are trying to become AI gurus and experts and masters. You will absolutely smoke those people who are spending more time behind their computer and less time talking to people.
Wow. Great advice. And that kind of comes down to what we kind of opened up with, simplifying, shiny object syndrome, simplify and don't be so worried about being a keyboard warrior, hiding behind a computer. And knowledge is important, invest in yourself, block off time. But at the end of the day, return those calls, do some, prospecting, do some proactive reaching out to your database, right? And make sure you're following up with those leads. So if somebody wants more info, you said the website, I got it up here, krem.ai. Is that the best place they can find out? I'm going to try to pull this up here. I think I have it queued up for you. So krem.ai, boom, how's this? Is that
that's perfect.
Yeah.
Yes, Krem.ai. Guys, you have access to our programs. You have access to our resources. We give away free tools, free training inside of here. You can check out all of our programs inside of there as well. You'll see we do a live AI workshop. It's about 30 minutes every Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern. We just cover simple ways that you can integrate it into your business, and I open it up to questions. So you have access to all of that inside of our institute. Then you can find out all that information at krem.ai.
Awesome. That's great. Well, hey, listen, I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule. We're right in the thick of things here with the holidays coming up. Perfect time to start planning your 2026 if you haven't done so already. Utilizing AI. He gave you some great prompts. Act as if, right? And then do some research on that. And Nick, anything else you'd like to add?
I'll just say this one point again. It's not the survival of the smartest nor the strongest. It's the one most adaptable to change. Don't try to figure all of this out and become the smartest person in the room. Simply keep adapting to this AI world, because it's not slowing down. It's only speeding up. There's a lot that will be coming out in these next couple of years, and don't sit down and try to figure it all out and be a master. Be human and adapt to AI. Do that and you will smoke the competition.
That's a good one to leave with. Hey, Nick, awesome job. I appreciate your time today.
Absolutely, Michael. Thanks for having me on.
Hey, it was great. So love his energy, love his content, some great stuff there, guys. Again, my name is Michael LaFido. If you're getting value from these, please leave us a like. Leave us a like, leave us a review. Please, Nick's on here donating his 30 plus minutes. I'm on here. We're trying to raise the bar, bring value to the industry. And please, if you do get value, share this with somebody. Leave us a like, leave us a review. My name is Michael LaFido. Until next time, keep raising the bar on your street, in your household, in your school district, in your community, in your brokerage, wherever you go, leave it a better place. Again, don't be afraid to have the courage to speak up if you see something. Again, life's not about a popularity contest. If you really are passionate about what you do and you're building others up, you might ruffle some feathers, but guess what? You can't please everybody. Steve Jobs once said, if you want to please everybody, sell ice cream. So with that, I'll leave you. My name is Michael LaFido. I appreciate you guys. Make it a great day. Until next time, we'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.